Sorry this episode took so long to get out. Work got in the way, basically. That'll never happen again though, so it'll be fine. Does it mean anything, or is it just an odd chant? Enough of you wanted to see me carry this on, obviously. Beside it, there are 7 flat lines etched into the stone, stacked on top of each other in a strange fashion. So for those that don't remember what's gone on, we put some blood on a thingy, which opened a thingy. But there were more engravings on the side we only saw afterwards. 7. I wonder if that number's significant at all. There's not really enough information to even hazard a guess. I doubt it means much of anything, but that number 7, it bursts into my brain for some reason I don't really understand. 7. Sighing to myself, I shrug and turn to descend the steps of the days. Just as my foot hits the last step, bad thing to happen. I reflexively jump back up from the bright flash of red light. What forms before me leaves me stunned for a long moment. A tall figure with a broom in his hand. So we found the janitor. Clearly he's been here too long. They don't pay him well enough to stitch up his clothes properly. Okay. Clad in white robes, his red eyes look like smouldering embers burning directly into me as he stares my way. In his hands is a long wooden staff, not for the first time in his life, one that looks remarkably ancient and weathered. Is this a spirit? Probably, yes. He takes a step closer. Stay where you are! I quickly pull out my sword, pointing it at the figure's head. But he doesn't seem to care. Instead, he just draws closer still, taking slow steps. Until he stands only a foot or so away. This is where you should have backed Anne to the side slightly to make sure that he's following you. From this close distance, I can see the figure's pale skin is marked by a splattering of odd, translucent patches glimmering unnervingly. Those red eyes stare unblinkingly down at me as if trying to read the contents of my soul. What do you want from me? My voice nervously spills out as I clench my fingers around my sword. Something about his gaze makes me feel like my energy is being drained out of me. It's probably the fact that you've summoned something very weird. That would be my... yeah, whatever, he doesn't understand. I brandish my blade threateningly at him, as opposed to unthreateningly, forcing myself to meet his crimson eyes. But the next moment, I hear a low, husky sound. A laugh? He's laughing. Alright, well, you know what we need to do, don't you? Let's see how terrible / good the laugh is. Not too evil, weirdly. A good laugh. I like the laugh. The laugh wasn't terrible. They didn't go fucking mad scientist with it. I watch stunned as the white-robed figure suddenly throws his head back with a hoarse fit of laughter. Oh my. His voice is deep and thick like an old and neglected instrument full of dust. I have no clue what he finds so amusing, but I'm relieved that he isn't attacking me. Or he's about to attack you when he's laughing because he's realised how fucked you are. Eventually he regains his composure and he affixes me with a sudden, rigid smirk. His ghostly white teeth are sharp and fang-like, making him seem even more unnerving. The look on your face, I'm going to miss doing this. It baffles me, but I can't sense any hostility from him. Instead, he just leers at me with a slight pleased narrow of his red eyes. I don't sheath my sword, I lower it slightly, mustering my best glare to throw at him. What are you? In response, he tilts his head tauntingly to one side, lips still curled in that obscenely confident expression. What am I? A very good question indeed. Thank you. The figure in white robes gazes at me with an intensely curious stare, so piercing that it makes my blood run cold. I don't often show myself to visitors, but I thought I smelled something unusual, and here you are. Okay, so not spirit, janitor. Answer me, who are you and what is this place? You know what this place is, what? Rather than replying, the creature just shakes his head with a chiding click of his tongue. Chiding? I can't help but stare at the unsettling translucent patches on his skin and clothes. There's translucent on his skin? Yeah, clearly I don't see it. It's like something ate holes out of him and spiders spun webs in the gaps. So uncourteous. Clearly, youth today aren't as educated in manners as they used to. I hate that. I hate everything about that sentence. It's one of these things. It's like Socrates or one of his people wrote it back in the olden Greek days. Oh god, if only everything were like it were back in my generation. Oh, what's that? You've got a sample size of 1, you prick. Maybe it was and you just don't know. Despite his ghastly ethereal appearance, his words and drawling tone are strangely held back. But his expression finally fades to a more mild one, and his red eyes narrow faintly at me. I believe I had a name many eons ago, but I don't remember it anymore. Once, though, I lived my days as a monk within these walls. Once? Are you a spirit? Oh god, we're quick on the upkeep, aren't we? Perhaps something close to that. Monk. We're calling him Monk. Great. I'm not the last of my kind, you'll see. There were once many of us, half an army's worth. But this is a game where you can speak to people, so there's either 4 or 5, because there always is. After pausing for a moment, the monk slowly begins to circle me with slow, lingering steps. I feel a faint chill in the air around him. My shock gradually fades, replaced by a growing confusion from his words. What do you come here seeking? Treasure, like all the rest? I wonder for a moment if I really should tell this odd man what my intentions are, but I don't think he intends me any harm. Look, if he says treasure like the rest, that means the rest have now gone. Just not gonna remember that, are we? This is a thing we're not remembering. Rolls eyes. Besides, if he can appear out of thin air like that, I don't think I could stop him from following me even if I tried. I want to reach the heart of the cathedral. It feels strange to tell my plans to someone else. Before, it was only something I repeated quietly in my head so much that it seemed like a dream. The monk raises his eyebrows dubiously, pausing in front of me and staring down with a curious look. You haven't been here before, have you? Alright, so you're a spirit, but you're clearly not all-knowing. The odd nature of his words takes me aback. Why on earth would he think I've been here before? This is the first time I've set foot inside the place. For a moment, his red eyes squint in suspicion, piercing into me so strongly that I... Yeah, cool. You truly believe this? What is this creature trying to say? Is he trying to trick me? Of course, I'd remember coming to a freakish place like this. A complex expression drifts over the monk's features, and he takes a slow step away back from me. A slow step away back? Oh, back away from me, his head tilting sharply to one side, and then his lips curl in an ecstatic grin. Okay. Clasping his hands together in delight, the monk lets out another long stream of grating laughter, shaking his head as though in disbelief. I think I understand now. Is the twist that they're human and we're spirit as well? Or we've recently died or something? Is this the twist? My, it seems we're in for a very interesting time together. I can't understand his vacuous laughter. If he's a spirit, maybe he's lost his wits wandering these halls. Probably not. The way towards the heart is further in, further down. He points a pale finger towards the crack in the wall that opened just earlier. Press onwards and I will come before you again, if you are what I suspect you to be. His confidence is so bewildering that I find myself at a loss for words. Slowly approaching me, the monk reaches out a hand towards my face. Before I have a chance to shrink back, his palm presses against my cheek. A frigid spark runs through me, and I reflexively swipe at his hand. But my hand passes through his flesh. Yeah, we all sort of knew that would happen. It's as if he's only an illusion, but the sensation of his icy skin is very real. The cold, slippery feeling of his fingers traces down my jaw, freezing me in place. My vision suddenly grows hazy, as if a dream world is overlapping with the real one. Nah. Oh, he did say nah. He said nah, all of it. His low murmur echoes in my ear and a chill spreads down my spine. Even when his hand moves away after the moment, I can still feel... Look, I get it, okay? He's scary. Come on. He's something otherworldly and instills fear within yourself. I get it. I was there the first, second, third, and fourth time you told me. All of what? I grimace at the monk, desperately trying to ignore the unpleasant sensation lingering on my skin, but he only offers me a cryptic smile in return, the translucent patches on his flesh glimmering. He turns away then, muttering thoughtfully to himself, "It seems I have a little research to do, but I'll return to you before long, little one, so don't fret." Oh, yeah, this is going to make me less scared. My hands curl into fists. What is this creature, and what does he know about me? What do you mean? What is it that you see? The desperation in my voice doesn't make the monk bat an eye. Instead, he just looks up questioningly towards the ceiling, or maybe the heavens. Astute questions, but ones that can be answered later. Old men like me have to allocate their time wisely. He flashes me a secretive smile after saying this, tapping his staff against the floor a few times as if to punctuate his statement. The look in his eyes confidently says we'll meet again, so my protests get caught in my throat with hesitation. Now then, don't get killed by anything on your expedition. I'll try not to. I wouldn't want my long-deserved fun to be cut short. With these cryptic words, a soft red mist starts to curl around the monk's body. It envelops him from head to toe, twisting about the staff that he clutches to his chest. Then his form flickers like a wavering candle, and within moments, cool, he disappears, I get it. He disappears. As I stare, cool. Despite my confusion, his voice was the first, positives where you can take them. I hope I'm not going crazy. You're probably not going crazy. It'd be a very, very short game if the big twist in the end was, hey, turns out it's nothing. I slide my sword back into its sheath and smooth my bangs out from my forehead with a soft sigh. This monk, can I trust him? Oh, come on, you've got no fucking choice. He's gonna be following you regardless. Sorry. I tend to skip when a conversation is basically cleverly trying to tell us, hey, you should be feeling this way about what just happened. Your writing should be doing that anyway. I don't need to see that to know that it's slightly weird and we probably shouldn't be 100% trusting of that man, but we don't really have a choice as it stands, do we? He's told us to go further and deep down. We were going down there anyway. He's gonna catch up with us anyway. It's either go where he says or walk back out. I get it. It's fine. Don't worry. Taking a deep breath, I still myself and head towards the crack in the wall. I also wonder how much this game has used a thesaurus, because there appear to be very, very similar words used a lot of the time for things. The glow of mystical door greets me as I walk over towards it. It's already really warm in here, and it feels like even more heat is coming from behind the door. How can you tell that? I guess if you put your hand on the handle, I guess. I place a hand on one half of the circular rune atop the stone. I tentatively push it forward. And, that's a terrible line still. The stone scrapes gratingly against the floor as it moves, but I'm careful not to open the gap too widely. After all, there might be some sort of horrible creature trapped inside. I cautiously peek into the opening. Only darkness. A musty scent abruptly rushes up into my nostrils. Gah. I don't know what that means. It's like I just opened the door to an old tomb. What do you mean, like? I hastily rub at my nose with my hand to alleviate the tingling sensation. As I do so, I squint into the darkness to try and see if there's anything past the door. I think I can see stairs. A spiral staircase leading downwards, but incredibly narrow. It's only about 5 feet wide. Good thing I don't have a fear of tight spaces. Well, here goes nothing. There's probably a yaoi and tight spaces joke you could make somewhere. I'm not going to lower myself to make it. Before I head down, I throw one last glance back at the altar. For some reason, I feel like I'm being watched. It's not like there are any real hiding spots in this room, but it just seems too quiet. That would be because it's for the most part a largely quiet cathedral. What, do you think you're going to stumble upon a festival of hippies? Come on, man. Bah, I think I'm just paranoid after that monk suddenly appeared in front of me. I turn back to squeeze through the gap in the door, sucking in my breath as I can fit past. Then I take one light step into the first stair just to make sure it doesn't crumble beneath my feet. It seems firm. Bracing myself, I start heading downwards into the depths of wherever these stairs might take me. Right. So it's like a GTA race spiral. Got it. Dark. There is no light at all, save for the distant flickering of torches. Distant flickering of torches? They're right there. Come on, I know you're going a little loopy, but surely you can tell that. Cobwebs got caught in my mouth as soon as I tried to yawn. Lovely. I stumble down a stair or two, but I quickly get my balance. For some reason, there's an odd feeling of weight on me, as if my pack has suddenly gotten much heavier. This place is horrible. The heat and smell of old, dusty stone are the only things I have in this pitch blackness. It feels like I'm descending into the bowels of the earth. I'm so far from the rest of humanity that no one would ever find my corpse if I died here. No funeral, no grave, no remembrance. Just darkness. I shudder at the morbid picture. Taking a deep breath, I shake my head to get rid of those dark thoughts. I'm not... Come on. Cool, right, okay. We crossed it is basically what happened there. It's a lot of morbid thoughts, and then he took a step and made it. What a hero. But there's something different about these doors. Alright, well, we definitely need this follow-up. Handle looks familiar. I wondered how some... Around to the beginning? That would be impressive. We've only gone in a straight line. There's something different about these doors. What is it that looks so strange about them? They seem so old, as if they were standing here since the dawn of time, and like many of old structures, and parts of stone have fallen away and crumbled, leaving chips and gaps in the door. But oddly enough, the holes are filled with some sort of gleaming opaque film, like many spiderwebs twisted into a single shimmering mass. Wait a second, I've seen these translucent patches before. The monk. Oh, come on. Is the big creepy reveal here that we've already seen the monk? He told us he was following us! How is this any revelation to us? But how could they possibly be related? He had a broom in his... The monk in this door. Feeling compelled by my curiosity, I tentatively reach out a hand and to one of the white spots. An abrupt numbness shoots through me. A pulsing, tingling sensation that spreads from my fingertips throughout my body. It feels like someone just threw a handful of needles into my spine. And as I soon yank back my hand, the overpowering sensation fades. What the hell? I roughly shake off to try and get rid of the horrible feeling. What was that? I've never felt anything like that before. It's not normal magic. There's something wrong with this door. You see what I mean? I'm basically breaking down the sentences. It's like, there's magic here. There's magic here. There's something wrong with this door. There's something wrong with this door. Like... Feeling cornered, takes a cautious step back. A note. Okay, yeah, cool. So we grab the note. What does it say? I wonder who could have left the note in such a strange place. Yeah, I wonder. Father Christmas passed by with his 8 reindeer and told Rudolph to drop it down. Come on! Whatever poor sod's reading this, get out. I mean it. There's nothing but death beyond this door. Death and suffering and more death and things like that. Turn back while you can. I'll probably die while writing this note. If I hadn't brought ink with me, I'd use my own blood to write it. Good thing I do have ink, though. Is this a bad joke? He's dying, but he's sitting there and going, I'd have to use my own blood to write it. But I do have ink, so it's okay. It's less messy. Actually, less painful now I think about it. Less pain. That reminds me of... Come on! Really, though, turn back. Don't suffer the same fate I have. There's a little scribble at the bottom where it looks like someone wrote their signature and hastily covered it over. I have to reread the note a few times simply to process it fully. Is this a joke? Scowling, I rip the note in half and toss it to one side. What kind of idiot would write something so ridiculous? One who is insane, I guess. As if a dying person would make quips about blood and ink. Yeah, okay. It is a bad joke then, or supposed to be dubious. So someone who was going insane, or forgery, or...
Too many things for us to really be able to guess. Besides, who brings writing materials with them in a place like this? Some sort of scholar? They'd made it sound like they were fatally wounded, but I see no blood here. Definitely no bodies. Whatever, I tried to dismiss the note from my mind, but now an unsettling thought weighs me down. Could it be that someone recently came through here? It all looks rather nice, okay? Is it really that difficult that a piece of paper remained intact? Considering how much activity you've seen around here? I mean, it seems likely, it's the only thing I'm saying.